Amazon Prime membership, you also get a Twitch Prime sub for free. You can use your Twitch Prime for a free subscription to any channel you want.
Me.
If you subscribe to wtfmoses, you will have access to all sub emotes, have early access to custom games, and a better chance to win giveaways. So subscribe now, or I'll never get any more chocolate.
Hey y'all, Moses here. Early this morning, the PUBG developers, PUBG Corp, have released a new update number 6 for PC 1.0, and this includes some explanation as to what's been going on behind the scenes and hint at a few major new features. And I thought I would go over those with you today and give some of my thoughts. So I'm going to read through the announcements. I'll be showing you some gameplay so you don't get too sleepy. But otherwise, we will be basically reading the notes here, and we'll get into the thoughts right afterwards. So in December 2017, we announced we were considering introducing a maximum ping limit to improve the game environment for our players. This update has been delayed as the team's resources were focused on cheat blocking and prevention. PUBG is now introducing an experimental method that we hope will get even better results than the one we were considering before. Unlike the method considered earlier, we are going to divide the matchmaking pool depending on ping. This means that the users with lower ping will be prioritized during matchmaking. The team is expecting to improve the overall play experience play experience by splitting the matchmaking pool rather than restricting connection depending on ping. Preparations are underway to test this method in some regions, with the first trial planning to start this week. Specific dates will be shared when ready. My first thoughts are, this is not a region lock. This is not a ping lock. This is prioritized matchmaking based on your ping. So low ping players will be matched with each other, and the higher ping players might be matched with each other as well. So I'm not sure exactly how that works. I suppose if you're looking at a region system, that if you're all in North America and you all have good ping, then you all should get matched together. Depending on available players. Now, I don't know if that's going to mean longer matchmaking or if that it'll just take as many low ping players as possible, and then the rest will just get thrown in there depending on who's available. So if it's an escalating system that is smart, then I suppose that would make some sense. It's a better and less, well, maybe not better, but it's a less restrictive form of enforcement regarding ping that doesn't make for restrictions like specific locks, etc. I think that the reaction to this will be mixed. I am optimistic. I think that is a great first step. I think that's a much needed step. And if it is an aggressive system that will, elongate queue times to prioritize low ping players, then that sounds like an improvement to me. So I'm all down for that. So moving on. Early this year, development of some of the major features and systems was delayed as our focus shifted towards tightening our anti-cheat effort. Also, due to other reasons, we have not been able to show you the team's development roadmap for 2018. We would like to ask for our players' generous understanding that despite the team's eagerness to share what we have been planning and working on, the timing had to be changed. We do have a lot of exciting things that we want to share with you, including new content to provide more extensive Battle Royale experiences, as well as improvements and modifications to create a deeper and more realistic gameplay. In March, the team will reveal what you can expect from us for the first half of 2018, and in terms of our development and new content plans, which, by the way, include a new map. So that's a big one. I'll kind of dissect that. The first one is a confirmation that a new map is coming in the first half of 2018. So that would be up to the summertime, which does make sense for the timeline in which it took to make Miramar and then release Miramar to test, etc. So within the next, I would say 5 months, we would expect to see a new map. However, I mean, that is barring any other unforeseen difficulties, delays, etc. that, we have come to not necessarily expect, but are fairly regular occurrences with this particular development cycle. So I guess, I mean, this is nice. This is a nice thing to say. I will be critical. I'm not a huge fan of. Also, due to other reasons, we have not been able to show you the team's development roadmap for 2018. Okay, I mean, cool. If you're gonna use a sentence like that, due to other reasons, either you include the reasons or you just don't mention that there were any reasons at all. I mean, you can just skip that because it doesn't really give us anything, which is whatever. That's just a more of a PR critique than anything else. But, you know, I guess it's nice to, and focusing on the positive aspect is that we do have a lot of exciting things you want to show you. And that's great. I mean, I like this. This is a nice little go-between. And there are patch notes for this test server coming up. So there are changes that are coming soon. But I would like to have just seen a little bit more information. But that's me. I'm entitled. Give me more info. So yeah, the first half of 2018, we'll see some improvements. Now, I have some slight concerns. A deeper and more realistic gameplay. I don't know what that means. The last realism change we saw was the ballistics changes, and I wasn't a huge fan of those after a couple of months, just based on how they've changed the game. I don't know if that is just wording or if that's coming in a specific way. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. So there's actually not a lot to go off of. So it's an extensive battle royale experience might be improved, improvements, modifications, deeper, more realistic gameplay. Great. I would like to see more specifics. So I suppose the big thing there is to focus on the new map. So the new map, there's been a lot of ideas kicked around. Is it going to be in the snow? Is it going to be at night? Is it going to be here or there? It's a new map. So it's not Erangel. It's not Miramar. It's new. So I'm excited about that. Any new content, anything new to focus on is great. I think that the more the better. I'm not sure how they're going to handle splitting the player base over 3 maps. I imagine that's at that point there will be a choice option included. Like once you have 3 maps, you should be able to choose which ones you're playing on because having randomly 3 maps is getting a little bit much. But I suppose that the new map will come in conjunction with many other changes that might, you know, aid in making sure that it's not split or something like that. So it's the stuff we don't know about, which is more enticing to me than the new map. New map, great. Show me some screenshots. Let's see how it plays. I'm glad it's coming, but there are other things that I think need to be focused on. Ranks, rewards. I made a video about this a couple of days back. You can go back and see that if you want to see what my personal opinions on what needs to be added. Not everybody agrees, but then again, they haven't yet to realize that I'm right about everything. So Kappa. Anyway, the current test server patch is mostly aimed at further optimizing the gameplay and fixing several significant bugs. More optimizations and fixes are being worked on and will be shared with you when they are ready. Please refer to the patch notes below for details and leave any feedback you may have on our forum. After the updates made to the test build are proven to be stable, they will be applied to the live servers as well. We will announce the timeline for the live server update soon. All right, there's a lot of soon happening here, but regardless, your enjoyment of PUBG remains our #1 priority. We will continue to put our best effort to improve and maintain the fair play environment, optimize the game, and provide you with new content. So before we jump into the patch notes, I'm happy this is happening. I've been critical in the past, and I will continue to be critical in the future. But I love this. I love this game. I've dedicated a lot of time to covering the game inside and out, and I want it to succeed desperately. I do not like the doom and gloom sentiment that I sometimes get sucked into as well. But realistically, I think that critique and pressure on the devs only makes them realize how much that people care about this game, and that's a good thing. So a lot of soons. I wish there was more info, but hopefully soon is within the next couple of weeks, and we can see that then. So let's jump into the patch notes for the test server. World. Replace some fences in Miramar to unbreakable fences or walls in order to optimize the client. No! God damn it. This is the first one? Unbreakable fences or walls? Oh my god. All right, well, I kind of liked just being able to not worry about driving into static objects even more in Miramar, but I guess there will be more walls and fences. But whatever. Optimization. Let's move on. Gameplay. When the player is riding in the airplane, they will no longer be able to see the inside of the airplane. This is to improve the early game client and server performance. Other players will be visible once they jump out of the plane. And when riding the airplane, you can check the number of remaining passengers via the new UI element at the bottom left of the screen. So I think this goes in line with rendering too many characters at one spot at one time. I think this is, whatever. It's a nice change. It's like a side grade, Like we might get a little bit of a bump in early game and server performance, early game client and server performance, which is great. Early game server performance is a huge deal. It's still the most unstable portion of the game. So you won't be able to see any players in the plane anymore, but you will be able to see who is remaining in the plane. So that's kind of an interesting change. It's a change. I think that overall that has the potential to be good. So whatever. Hooray. Replays. When reporting someone through the replay system, we now receive a 1-minute replay file centered on the point of your report. It is impossible to report through a replay file which has been created longer than a week ago. It is impossible to report the same player multiple times in the same replay file. Okay, so they're actually now receiving... I guess I thought that this was already happening. Like, what were they looking at? Maybe just they had the replay flagged and they had to watch it themselves? So I suppose that when you report someone, you have to report them at the specific point of infraction, which is great. Great. I don't know. Hopefully that works, I suppose. Bug fixes. Fix the issue where the player would die from falling when vaulting and climbing. Fix the issue after reconnecting to the game. The player would get a glitched view when using the ADS on their weapon. And fix the issue where the players didn't receive any damage after entering a vehicle from the prone position and then exiting while the vehicle was moving. I didn't know that was a thing. Fix the issue where entering the vehicle, passengers see from the prone position and using heal boost items. The player was shown using the items in prone position instead of sitting down. Made changes to prevent... Oh, and miscellaneous. Made changes to prevent the reduced heal/boost time cheat. Okay, well, that's nice. There are some other things that are on the known issues list that I still have not seen on any patch notes. Like the 8x scope retaining its zoom between weapon swaps. Is that coming in? Like the one thing well, another thing I should say that kind of chokes me is that sometimes they include changes that are not in the patch notes. I wish that would stop. Sometimes they change, like in the 1.0 patch notes, they just like changed a bunch of weapon recoil and stuff like that, but didn't include that in the actual game changes. So I would like to see all changes listed here. Not, if there's some sensitive stuff around anti-cheat, obviously you don't have to include that or be intentionally vague, but there's some known issues that have been listed as fixed on the forums. I made a video about that too, that have yet to come into the game. So I'm not sure what's happening there. But overall, any change is good at this point. Any bug fixes are good. Hopefully there's some other changes that are positive that aren't listed in here that we get to discover on our own, like little Easter eggs. But overall, yeah. So that's a lot of big news, really. A new map, roadmap coming soon, and test server stuff. So the new map is really going to rile people up, and I think that's great. Any buzz around the game is excellent. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts. What do you want to see from this roadmap update? What do you want to see from the new map? And what do you think about the upcoming changes to the test server and what have you? So leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to see your reactions. And leave a like if you like the video. And if you don't like it, then dislike it too. But you can also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/WTFMoses, and on Twitter @WTFMoses. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, I'll see you out there.